Don't forget to like and subscribe.
So I have 3 different builds that I go. I go my Riftmaker Blackfire Torch build with Fiery and Precision. I go the build that you just saw with First Strike, and I also go full Burst Zoe, the classic, but without Lichbane with Shadow Flame. I think Shadow Flame is in these scenarios where the enemy team... Bro, I see a lot of people that go Lichbane second item on full Burst Zoe by default, and that's a massive mistake. If the enemy team is playing champions that don't buy a singular MR item, then Shadow Flame is always better because it's just pure more damage because of the magic you can utilize the magic penetration more. Right? And it's also better wave clear, it provides you with better wave clear. On the other hand, Lichbane is better if the enemy team is buying MR. If the enemy team is buying MR, you should buy Lichbane second if you're playing full Burst Zoe, because you want a CDR for more spell rotations, and if you're playing full Burst Zoe against someone who buys MR, the magic penetration from Shadow Flame is useless. So you want more ability haste, more raw AP in order to deal more damage. So that's why Lichbane is better. If the enemy team has champions that buy MR into you if you're playing full Burst Zoe. But if the enemy team is not buying any MR, like in this game for example, if I go Lichbane Zoe, I'm trolling. Well, I still lost because I have 4 pigs in my team. But you get the idea, right? Why did you buy these boots? Because first of all, they're broken. They're most broken runes. The most broken boots in the game. Secondly, I want tempo. The enemy team is playing a very high tempo game. They're playing assassins, right? So the enemy team is basically playing triple assassin, Talon, Kennen, and Akali. So those are champions that want to get into bushes, either into your jungle or their jungle or any bush, so that they can chase you and one-shot you, right? So you prevent that from happening, from having higher tempo, from being first on the map, from being on the map before them. And you do that by buying those boots. They're cheap, they scale, you buy them, you are first on the wave, you clear the wave, and they will not get into the bush before you to one-shot you. That's the concept. You don't buy these boots only in bad matchups where you think you need you need to recall a lot. You also should buy these boots when you want the tempo on the map, the extra tempo on the map, so that you can prevent, for example, the enemy team in this game to be able to chase me. Because, for example, in that game, what does the enemy team want to do? Get into a bush, or like push the wave, get into a bush, one-shot me. But if I have these boots, I go mid lane first, I push the wave first, and I have no issue walking into a bush. Makes sense, right? Hope it does. So yeah. You can say that in this type of game, going for this type of rune page is really useful, because you can utilize the aggressiveness on the rune page in lane against the Casio, for example. You're building semi-tanky because they also are pretty beefy. You have CDR because if the game is even, having CDR in team fights is really useful in this game, because they can be pretty beefy. This guy can be beefy, this guy can be beefy, this guy can be beefy, this guy can be beefy. But at the same time, if I get ahead, I one-shot everyone. So this is why this build is good in this type of game. In this type of game, where I can abuse my my cut down, summon Aerie and Scorch in lane, and where the enemy team is squeezy enough so that when I get ahead I can one-shot everyone, but if the game is even, they can be tanky, so the CDR and tankiness from Riftmaker can be useful. You got this build. And you see how well it works, right? For example, in this type of team, against this type of players, right, against this team comp, yes, I one-shot everyone, but I need survivability. This guy wants to jump on me, kill me. This guy wants to jump on me, kill me. This guy wants to jump on me, kill me. And at the same time, this laning phase is pretty free, right? So I can get a lot of gold value out of my first strike in lane, and I always will have the first hit into their team comp, like in 70% of scenarios, right? So I can stack gold, and as you can see, I was literally full build really early in the game. I explained why I go these boots in this type of game. I'm not gonna explain it again. And for example, even though I mean this game I lost because I have 4 pigs in my team, but you can see, like, in this game, going full burst with Dark Harvest is better than any other build, because if I land 1E on any of them, they're one-shot. And going first strike in a lane versus Akshan is useless. And because I'm playing, if the enemy team had a bruiser jungle or a tank jungle or a bruiser support or tank support, I would go Blackfire Torch Riftmaker. But because literally everyone is really squishy, I go full burst, right? With Zhonya's third for their survivability. And it worked really well. I was literally the only person who was playing this game. 4 pigs in my team equals I lose. So yeah, these are the 3 builds and the scenarios where I built them. It just depends on each game. If you go full burst, I go their harvest. You go for these seraphs. You go for seraphs and cosmic drive. You go first strike. You go for a Blackfire Torch Riftmaker, higher precision. You can go on myop.gg and check the runes for yourself in detail. Simple.